Up, 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 up. All right, that's all. I'll let you know about the jobs later. Out. Out. It's a surprise seeing you again. I was just interviewing, finding new dancers for our ballet is a constant problem. Would you sit down?
Joseph. Welcome back, Joseph. But how and when?
Joseph just arrived. Hans, welcome your brother back.
You look fine, Joseph. Just fine.
Well, this calls for a celebration. Hans, get some champagne out of the cooler. Frederick, I was just interviewing some new dancers when Joseph popped in on me.
You know Klaus, always trying to make pleasure out of business.
Would you like a cigar, Joseph? Well, I thought perhaps you'd taken up cigar smoking while you... We didn't expect you back so soon.
So soon? 3.5 years.
Yes, I know, but I thought...
I got time off for good behavior. I was well behaved in prison, Klaus. One has little time to be otherwise.
I'm glad you're back, Joseph.
Thank you, Hans. I didn't see any pictures advertising the flying Everharts. Aren't you and Frederick working the trapeze anymore? But I see a big picture in the foyer of you doing your knife throwing act, Klaus, huh?
When I feel like it, mostly on weekends. Joseph, we'd like to drink a toast to you. To your being a free man once again.
No, I'd rather drink to Papa. To Bruno Everhart.
I wouldn't drink to him when he was alive. I won't start now.
Joseph, you need new clothes. You know, the styles have changed since, But I'll take you to my tailor. Look how fine he made this suit. Look.
How's Garda?
Fine. Our little sister's in America now.
All right, here are 60,000 marks, Joseph. It's your share of the profits while you were in prison. Take it, Joseph. It's enough to give you a new start. Away from here. Now, we've talked it over, and Hans and Frederick agree with me. I've made a big success of this thing, and I intend to keep things as they are. Our plans do not include you.
But mine include you. A down payment on an unpayable debt.
Joseph, you're a fool.
I'm a madman. And what's worse for you, a dedicated madman. Dedicated to Papa's dream. The first thing I want done is to change all those signs to the Everhart Circus. Take the word brothers out of it. Hans, start getting into shape. You too, Frederick. The flying Everhards are to be the top attraction of this circus, not a cheap knife-throwing act on weekends.
Klaus, what can he do?
Get out. Get out of here!
Every opening night, Papa has to do the catching. Joseph thinks I should be up there all the time.
And to Papa, it only matters what Papa thinks.
Her. She can fly without a motor. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Klaus? Our opening night in Hamburg, and you didn't send flowers. Maybe you're a little too sure of me now, huh?
Well, I've had so much to do.
That's all right, darling. I understand. Have you told your father about us yet?
Well, Carlotta, there was no chance. He's been too busy to even see me since we've been in Hamburg.
And you've been too busy to see me, too, Klaus. I've already told the others they'll have to find a new girl for the out after we're married.
I told you not to say anything until it was all settled with Papa.
Well, you settle it real quick. Huh, baby?
Ladies and gentlemen, the renowned Bruno Everett and his son Joseph will now attempt the most exacting, most death-defying feat in the repertoire of the high trapeze.
I told Papa before the show I didn't want to do it with him doing the catching.
So that nothing will distract attention from this spectacular exhibition, the other members of the great Flying Everett family will leave the platform. The beautiful and talented Garda Everett.
Not anything. Just Frederick Everard. I think I'll become a clown. Ladies and gentlemen, in the tradition of the great Cordona, Ernie Clark, the Concellos, we now present the most daring, most exacting demonstration known to man. You will see the most dangerous of all exploits on the high trapeze. The salto mortale, the triple somersault. In this death-defying feat, the flyer, Joseph Everard, will spin 3 times in the air, then grasp for life in the hands of his father, the renowned Bruno Everard. And remember this, the catch must be made as the flyer comes out of his spin at a speed of over 100 kilometers per hour, nearly 65 miles an hour. Most of the few flyers in history who have accomplished this extraordinary feat have died of broken necks while attempting it one too many times. Is this the time for Joseph Everard?
Did you hear the one about it?
It's crazy. Papa can't hold him in a triple.
Someday his arrogance will cost him his life.
Maybe the old man gets knocked off his perch this time.
When will you learn to wait till I've finished taking my bows?
That was close.
Too close. I almost tore him off the swing.
Fine tonight, Bob.
For your pleasure, Klaus Everard, master marksman with flying steel.
You swung too far. Your timing is off.
My timing? You were so late you barely made contact. I told you before we went up there tonight, Papa, I wouldn't do a triple with you anymore. So you tell Fritz to make a big announcement. I mean it, Papa. Either Hans does all the catching all the time or I stay on the ground.
I caught you, didn't I?
I mean it, Papa. I'm not going to knock my own father off the swing. I'm sorry. You've got enough to do just running the circus. Let it go at that.
Carter, don't you want your papa to have some hot chocolate?
Yes, Papa.
Go get it for me. This is absolutely the last night for that. It's not even a good vaudeville act.
We want to leave. The Count knows a marvelous place for oysters.
Oh, I don't think I feel like oysters, but why don't you go? Find me a pearl.
Staying here?
Mm-hmm.
Really, Hillary, all he has is muscle.
That might be kind of nice for a change.
We're going to leave, Hillary. Good night.
Night.
Crystal, get ready. I'm putting you on early.
You didn't let me finish.
I finished it. I finished it for good. Klaus, your cheap stunt is for peasant carnivals, not for a circus.
That's circus. You like the act on the road?
I never liked it. I had nothing else to put in.
You don't want me to perform anymore.
I tell you to perform on the books. Go keep the books. It's the only way you can entertain me. Maybe we use that suit for a clown bullfight. Could be funny.
You were talking to him. Did you tell him about it?
Listen, Klaus, we don't like our rigging. The back platform isn't solid enough. The guy wires out to...
Take it up with my father. He does all the rigging. He does everything.
You're wasting your time on that one.
Someday he'll own a big part of all this.
Everard,
Yes?
one platform was not so steady this afternoon. Now our contract says...
I know what your contract says. I do the rigging in this circus. Nobody knows more about rigging than I do. When I say it's all right, it's all right.
All I said...
I heard what you said. You hear what I said?
He's a monster.
See, Felipe. But what a rich monster.
bookie from the parade, are you?
No place for a bookkeeper in a circus parade. Papa stopped me right in the middle of my act tonight.
You know, Papa, he blows hot and cold. It's opening night.
Now, to be anything at all to him, you've got to be a trapeze artist.
So you can't take heights. It's not your fault.
Well, my fault or not, I'm just not his kind of circus.
Klaus, your father said for me to get the suit.
All right, there it is. Take it. Joseph, will you help me?
Yeah.
Now, Papa promised me a raise when we got to Hamburg. When I reminded him of it, he said he never made such a promise. Now, I need that raise. I can't get married on what he pays me now. So maybe, you know, if you spoke to him...
Married? You getting married? Who to?
Carlotta.
Carlotta? Well, do you love her?
Well, who knows what that is? I want to get married, that's all. I was thinking, you know, maybe if I had a son so Papa could be a grandfather, then... Well, maybe he'd be proud of me then, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Joseph, I've been looking all over for you. Papa wants you in his office right after the show. You too, Klaus.
Yeah, you too, Klaus.
What is it? What's up?
I don't know. But he had me reserve a private room in the Fasten Garden for after the performance.
Will you try, Joseph?
Sure.
Seen Paul?
I think he's in his way.
Thank you.
Did Garda tell you to be in my office after the performance?
Yeah.
Don't make any plans for tonight.
I hope Bruno Everard appreciates the applause I'm getting. I mean, we're getting.
See that? She smiled at me.
Oh, Klaus, see if you can touch that spot back there.
I don't see any glacier.
Touch it anyway.
You want the side also?
No, you know that I never do the sides. Don't pick your pimples in my presence.
It's an ingrown hair, Papa.
Ingrown brain, maybe. If you spent as much time working out on the trapeze as you do admiring yourself in mirrors, you'd be a better flyer.
Sorry I'm late, Papa.
All right, sit down. You two, sit down. Now, I've come to a decision. I am retiring as a catcher. From now on, Hans will do all the catching. Don't get the idea that your threats about refusing to perform with me had anything to do with it. Nobody threatens Bruno Everard.
No, but I am relieved at your decision, Papa.
If I chose, I could continue, but I don't have enough time to keep as physically fit as I should. Of course, if I had any real help from you in operating the circus, I'd have time for proper workouts. Carter, why can't you be more graceful when you're up there? You look like a gawky schoolgirl tonight.
I did what I always do.
You're not a child anymore. You're a woman. Come on. Be more feminine, more graceful. You know, learn how to stand.
Stand like that, you'll never make it to the dressing room. Well, so many offers, you know.
I don't have to be told how to stand. Besides, I can have all the offers I want.
I'll decide who makes offers to you, and don't you forget it. All right. Now, my dream is about to come true. A permanent building for the Everard Circus. I've started negotiations for a property in Munich.
Munich? Last time I was Vienna, Papa.
The time before that, it was in Berlin.
Are you questioning where I choose to locate my circus?
I like Munich.
It's a good place. I'll do big business there, summer and winter. No more traveling, playing intense, fighting the weather. No more paying outrageous rentals for space like I'm forced to do here.
Papa, if you can afford to buy a new building, you can afford to give Klaus an increase in salary you promised him.
I promised no such thing. Did I, Klaus?
Yes, you did, Papa.
What makes you think that you deserve more money? I can't even use you as a performer. That amateur act that you do is not for my circus, and I can hire better bookkeepers than you for less than you're getting now. What do you need more money for?
So he can get married, Papa. He can't support a wife on the money you give him.
Married? But you're always looking at women's legs. Have you seen the face of this woman you talk of marrying? You know, maybe you ought to look at her face. It might change your mind.
May I leave, Papa?
No, you may not leave. There are no secrets in our family. We all know about your brother.
Papa, there's...
Don't interrupt. You stay out of this. Now, who is this that you want to marry?
Carlotta Martinez.
That tramp? I'll tell you something about her. You marry her, then I disown you, then she'll leave you like that. Sure, she'd marry any Everard, even Hans. Because she thinks it will be a big future for her. All the money and prestige, she'd like that. None of you marries without my permission. I'll tell you why. Soon, though it may not happen for a while, I'm going to die. It happens to everybody. Then everything will belong to you, my sons and daughter. Nobody from the outside is going to share in anything unless I approve. And no Carlotta, no raise. Any questions? So, all right, now, wait a minute. Listen to me. Tonight is very, very important. I'm giving supper at the Pheasant Garden in honor of Pietro Vizzini and his daughter Teresa.
Darling, I have missed you.
Were you true to me?
Did I have any other choice?
You better not.
Don't get good.
Beer, but...
Herr Everard? My name is Eric Solden. Which Everard are you?
Joseph.
I enjoyed your performance tonight. I especially enjoyed the young lady in your act. I was wondering, is she one of the family, too?
Yeah, she's my sister.
She's a very pretty girl. I'd like very much to meet her.
She's 18 years old. Her name is Garda. She's the apple of her father's eye and the pride of her brothers, and she doesn't date strangers.
Then And she's not married?
Not yet.
I'll be quite frank with you, sir. I'd like very much to meet your sister if, Papa...
Welcome to Frau Stein's.
I was hungry.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, I don't know what I'm doing here. I guess I just wanted to see what the daring young man on the flying trapeze was like when he wasn't on the flying trapeze.
I say, you making a survey on it?
Oh, we were terribly rude. I'm sorry. And I'm really not gathering small talk for cocktail parties.
What are you doing?
Well, at the moment, I'm standing here in a restaurant. Is there any reason why we can't sit down?
Well, my name is Joseph Everard.
I know. Mine's Hillary Allen.
Hillary Allen. You tourist, right?
No, I'm an American, but I live here in Hamburg.
Hamburg. You look more like a Rome or Paris type to me.
You're an expert on types?
Well, circus travels.
So you learn to observe people. Well, all right, expert. Observe me. Who am I? What do I do?
Well, I don't know that you do anything. You appear to be a rich girl who does as she pleases. And gets what she wants just by pointing a finger.
And doesn't want it after she gets it.
Well, maybe she's been pointing a finger at the wrong direction. You really hungry?
I know.
Didn't the food agree with you?
Nothing agrees with me. The factory no longer works. Whatever I put in, it just lies here.
But you are looking much better than when I saw you last. Oh, even though Joseph did miss the supper, he will be here. He was very anxious to meet you, especially you, Teresa. He has great admiration for the way you handle polar bears. You know that polar bears are much more dangerous to a trainer than lions or tigers?
Why is that?
Because of the eyes, the faces, they never change. Isn't that so? The expression's the same if they're happy or angry?
That's right.
Now I can talk. So, what is this proposition of a merger between us?
Would you like some fresh air?
Well, you agree that there'll be a great advantage to having permanent quarters in Munich?
We're going to get some fresh air, Papa. You work all alone in the cage with the polar bears?
Oh, no. I have an assistant, Kurt. He moves platforms and things. You know, props, which are too heavy for me to lift.
Well, isn't he afraid of the bears?
Oh, no. There's always a guard outside the cage, rifleman. Just in case.
difficult to believe.
What?
Well, that a woman as beautiful as you can be so courageous. I've never seen you perform, but I know how famous you are. And I know how dangerous polar bears are. I really don't think I could stand to see you go into that cage again. I mean, not now.
What do you mean? Not now.
Well, having met you and got to know you a little, thought of your beauty being... Well, I don't want to think about it.
My beauty is not much to think about.
How can you say that? Don't you have a mirror? You can look into it. I'm sorry I've offended you.
Oh, no. How could I be offended by being complimented?
You see, it's always very difficult for a man when he's attracted to a woman. What does he say to her then? That she's beautiful? Well, you must have heard that 1,000 times. Teresa, I would like to get to know you. To know everything about you. Will you let me see you again?
If you truly want to.
Starting tonight and tomorrow. And for as long as you'll let me.
Your muscles are too tight. Don't force it.
I get enough criticism from Papa. Keep yours to yourself.
Yeah.
Joseph, come down here. I want to talk to you.
Papa was sure angry because you weren't with us last night.
Your muscles are too tight. Don't force it. Here, help me with this. Hold on a minute.
I think the turnbuckle is about worn out, Papa. If one of those lets go.
They'll hold for as long as we need them. I'm not taking that high wire act to Munich.
Why not? They're real good.
All the trouble that Carlotta and Felipe caused? No act is that good. They're tight as a drum. Joseph, did you hear me? Come down here. So, where were you last night?
I had another appointment, Papa.
I told you not to make any appointments. You know how important last night was to me.
Yeah? How'd it go?
Well, I think Vizzini's very interested in my proposition. He was very upset that you weren't there, and so was Teresa. All I asked of you was to come and meet her. Now, you know what happened? Klaus took her home.
Papa, I think we try Garda for the double. I think she'd be more effective than Frederica.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, Klaus took her home. Good.
But if he offended her, it could ruin everything. Vizzini is very protective about his daughter. Joseph, she's a fine woman.
Sure she is, Papa.
Looking at her last night, all I could think of was how nice it would be if you and she would... Would it hurt you just to meet her? You know, you might like her.
Papa, you trust me?
Of course. About what? What do you mean?
Trust me to pick my own woman, huh?
You remember, the same goes for you as for the others. There'll be no outsiders in my family unless I approve.
Come in.
I waited and waited for you last night.
Well, I had a business appointment. The whole family was involved.
And there I was, the door unlocked, the room filled with the perfume you like, dressed as an expectant sweetheart should be, but no lover. Did you tell your father about us? You promised?
Yes, and he promised that he'd disown me if I married you.
Why?
Papa doesn't give reasons for his decisions.
And you just accept them, huh? You're his oldest son. Haven't you got any rights at all? Or aren't I good enough to be part of his precious family?
Carlotta, don't make a big scene out of this.
Why, you did. You kept telling me how you'd marry me, how someday you'd own the circus, how everything would be so wonderful.
I'm not going to risk being disowned by my father for any woman.
You think you and your papa can treat me like dirt. You have much to learn about Carlotta Martinez.
You're a tramp, and you'll do anything you can for money.
So will you, Klaus. That's why we would have made a great pair. Together, we could have owned this circus.
Look what I just got.
Hey, if I didn't know you better, I'd think you were a ballerina.
But I don't know who they're from. Who's Eric Solden?
Eric Solden? Small token from one who admires your talent and your beauty even more. Respectfully, Eric Solden. Don't you know him?
No. But aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, long stem, too.
No one's ever sent me flowers before.
Oh, what do you mean? I gave you some on your 18th birthday years ago.
You're my brother. That's different.
Oh, that's...
Now, what can I put them in? I don't have a vase.
Well, we get a water bucket from the stables.
I will not. Please get a vase. Joseph, you don't suppose they're from...
Hmm?
Well, last night, there was a fella that...
Yeah?
Well, I mean... Well, he sort of... Well, he kept applauding when there was no reason to, you know?
Oh, kind of an idiot.
He was in the audience. And I couldn't help but notice him. He was an American soldier. But he didn't hoot and whistle like some of them do. I couldn't help but notice him. Joseph, isn't it exciting? Look at flowers.
It's exciting. No, Papa, he caught me real good.
He grabbed at you like you were a sack of wheat.
No, Papa, my timing was off.
Your timing was not off. I know what I saw. I could train a bear to be more graceful than you are.
Forget it, Hans. You know, Papa. He still wishes he was up there. To him, there'll never be a catcher quite like Papa. Come in.
Aerobar?
Yeah.
Do you want to see me?
Yeah. You send those flowers to my sister?
Yes, sir.
You remember what I said to you at Frostein's?
Yes, sir. You said she wasn't married.
Mm-hmm. Well, just what are your intentions?
My intention?
Yeah.
I don't know that I have any intentions. Not yet, anyway. Just like to meet her.
Well, it seems to me a fellow as eager as you are to meet a girl must have some intentions. Other than just a handshake.
Look, Mr. Everard, I'm not looking for a shack-up. I'd just like to meet your sister. We may not even like each other, but I think we have the right to find that out for ourselves.
Yeah. I think you're right. Come on.
Come in.
Carter, I'd like you to meet Sergeant Eric Solden, an acquaintance of mine.
How do you do, Miss Everard?
How do you do?
I hope you enjoyed the flowers.
Oh, I do. They're beautiful.
May I consider that we've been properly introduced? Then I'd be honored if, after the circus, you'd permit me to buy you a beer. You'd have supper with me.
Yeah, well, Sergeant, I'm sorry, but I'm taking guard out this evening for supper. However, if you happen to be at Frostein's,
Oh, I'll be there. It's very nice meeting you. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, that's quite all right, then.
Bye.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
Well, I love you. Isn't he divine? Joseph, are you really going to take me to Frostein's tonight?
Sure.
And what about Papa? You know how he feels about me or any of us having anything to do with people outside the circus.
Even some people in the circus.
But if I'm there with you...
Now, you listen to me. You just stop worrying about what Papa thinks. You're not a child. You're a woman. If you like that young man, well, you like him. Remember, I've got an appointment.
Oh, Joseph, I don't have to go yet, do I? We just got here.
All right, Sergeant, would you mind seeing that she gets back to the circus safely, huh?
Yes, sir.
Good, and don't stay out too late.
Oh, no, sir.
No.
I'm going to learn to sculpt. I think I'll do you in bronze.
I'd be cold in bronze.
I'll do you in warm bronze. Tell me again about my cooking.
Delicious.
What?
Oh, I just remembered something Papa once said. He said, a man's far happier with a woman who provides him with a good meal than a woman who translates Greek manuscripts.
I don't see anything funny in that.
Well, he was comparing my mother to a British embassy girl I had a brief passion for. She couldn't cook, but she sure could translate Greek manuscripts.
Joseph, when the ringmaster talks about all the people that have died of broken necks from doing what you do, is that something just to scare the wits out of everybody, or is it true?
It's true.
Doesn't that bother you?
Well, it hasn't yet. I hope if it ever does, I have sense enough to quit.
So dangerous.
Dangerous? Everything's dangerous. You ever try to cross the street in Rome against traffic?
Why do you do it, Joseph?
Well, it's my job.
Are you always going to?
I always have. Papa started me almost as soon as I could walk. I joined the troop when I was 12 and did my first triple when I was 17. Papa used to do a triple. Did you know that? Yeah. He wasn't always a catcher, you know. He was a flyer and a great one. Circus people say he was as good as Cardona. And he was the greatest. I never saw Cardona, but I sure remember Papa.
But your father doesn't fly anymore. When did he quit?
About 10 years ago. When Uncle Ludwig was killed. In Milan, they had an accident. Somebody forgot the timing. They fell. Papa broke his fall, and Uncle Ludwig... What are we talking about Uncle Ludwig for? Better get back to your cooking.
Did your father blame himself for it?
Oh, no. It's an accident.
I thought maybe that might explain why he's such a tyrant with all of you.
One thing about Papa, he does what he feels is best for everybody.
When it's best for him?
Hey, now, wait a minute. If it weren't for Papa, Hans, Frederick, and I would be third-rate acrobats. Garda, she'd be a little housewife somewhere, which she'd probably like, but...
Probably would.
Hey, what are you, anyway? Some kind of a lady writer writing a psychological novel about circus people, huh?
Yes. We're just about ready to go to press.
Yeah, well, you just forget about circus people. You want to write? Write about some rich banker or brokers.
I don't want bankers and brokers. I want you, with or without your father.
And you just forget about Papa, too. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
You just shut up. And be the wonderful woman you really can be.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're hired. You start tonight.
How about our billing, Herr Everard?
What's your name?
Willie.
Don't worry, Harry Willie. You'll be featured. I'll have the contracts today.
Okay.
Okay.
Papa?
Hey, you quit staying up so late nights. Where do you and Joseph go?
Well, he's just taken me out to supper a few times.
Either you eat too much or the waiters are too slow.
Papa, Senor Vizzini wants to see you right away.
Vizzini?
Klaus is with him. They're in your office.
Is Vizzini angry?
I don't know.
If that Klaus has...
Sir? Grazie. Salute.
Thank you, sir.
Your health. Mine is not worth drinking.
Pietro, this is a surprise.
Well, the world is full of surprises. My daughter has finally fallen in love with your son, Klaus.
Teresa has consented to marry me, Papa.
I have given my blessing, Bruno.
Well, I give mine. When is the wedding to be?
Like all lovers, they're anxious.
And next Saturday, we thought just a simple ceremony with a reception for the family afterwards.
Oh. Oh, this is a surprise.
I know you believe as I that a wife and husband should be in the same business together. So that merger of the Vizzini Menagerie and the Everard Circus is now essential, see? It's agreed. Have your attorney draw up the contract with the terms and percentages we talked about.
I'll have the papers drawn up immediately. Oh, this calls for a celebration.
No. Not now, Bruno. I have only about one celebration left in me. I'd better save it for the wedding.
Oh, no, please stay. No. All right. I'll get the papers ready. Don't you worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything.
Good. Thank you, Bruno.
Pietro.
Allow me, sir. Aren't you pleased about this, Papa? I mean, this is what you've always wanted, isn't it? The big show?
And I'll make it the biggest show in Europe before I'm through. Here. Send a telegram to the real estate man in Munich. Tell him to complete negotiations for the building immediately.
Aren't you going to congratulate me?
Huh?
Congratulate me.
Oh. If she can control polar bears, maybe she can make a man out of you. Who knows? Congratulations. Where's Joseph? I can't wait to tell Joseph about this.
No, not too many bubbles.
Frederick? Good. Hans? Teresa? Klaus?
Thank you.
Ah, Hans. Not till the toast, huh?
And the sign is going to read, Everard and Vizzini present The big show.
Papa, it's a wedding reception, not a business conference.
I'll have a toast. All right.
Yeah, come on.
We'll close the circus next week, and that'll give us at least a month to prepare the new building in Munich.
All right, Papa.
Please.
So, to Teresa, our new sister-in-law, our new member of the family. Prost.
Here.
And may all your troubles be little ones about 8 pounds apiece.
Babies. Now, if Frau Everhard will cut the cake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do a good job. Come on.
Don't forget to make a wish.
Oh, I'm sure you all know what that wish is.
To be always as happy as I'm at this moment. And to be a good wife to my husband.
Bravo. Bravo.
Now,
Have you told Papa everything?
Told him what?
well, I suggested and Teresa agreed that it might be good advance publicity for our opening in Munich if she were to do her act with the polar bears our last week here in Hamburg.
Oh, that's wonderful, Teresa. You agree, Vizzini?
Since my daughter and her husband will eventually own my share of the business, I'd let them start making decisions now.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now...
Thank you, Kurt.
What's this?
Oh, I always station a rifleman outside the cage, Papa Bruno, and who better to protect me than my husband?
I hope you know how to use that thing if you have to.
I know how, Papa.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Close. You take good care of my sister-in-law.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see one of the most thrilling, most spine-tingling performances in circus history. The only act of its kind in the world today. From the far north, from the icy top of the world, 12 savage polar bears, the most vicious killers of...
They're a little large to hold on my lap, but they look as cuddly as bunnies to me.
They're the most dangerous bunnies in the world.
Ex-boyfriend's wife is a real star.
When she finds out what she married, she'll feed him to those bears.
Wonderful. But you know, I think that big one is too mean.
Oh, no, he's no meaner than the others. Just chose it a little bit more.
I almost shot him.
Oh, no, darling. He makes the act. Don't you worry about Polo. With you watching over me, I wasn't there at that.
Not here in front of everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Fortuna brothers with Carlotta on the high wire.
I'll change and meet you later.
Ciao. This is a circus, not a nightclub. We don't hold hands with the audience between the acts. Who's that woman out there?
Her name is Hillary Allen, Papa.
That's all?
Yeah.
Well, what do you know about her? Where is she from? What kind of a family does she come
She's a lovely girl, Papa, a lovely girl. I'll tell you all about her when we come back from our holidays, all right?
Holidays?
Yeah. Well, you close tonight. You don't open in Munich for a month.
You expect me to move the circus south all by myself? I've been counting on you.
Papa, count on my brothers for a while, huh? They like that.
Very good. Huh? Exceptional. This is their last night.
You're not taking them to Munich?
Too much trouble. I'll be glad to see them finished.
Oh.
Well, in my opinion, you're not liable, Bruno. It was an accident.
What about Felipe and his brothers and Carlotta?
Well, the 3 men are dead. And the woman, what's her last name?
Martinez.
Have you heard anything more about her?
She's critical. She's still in a coma.
But, Bruno, this is not the first time circus people have been killed during a performance. It's not your responsibility to insure them against the risk which they themselves choose to take.
Will I have to delay the move to Munich?
There's no legal reason why I must.
All right, I leave all the legal matters to you.
All right. Bye, Bruno.
Bye-bye.
Vizzini. Joseph.
I'll see you in Munich, Bruno.
Take care of yourself, kid.
Everything's gonna be all right, Papa? It wasn't your fault.
You just make sure you're in Munich in time for the opening.
This just isn't the time to talk about such a thing.
What do you mean, such a thing? Garda, I have to know. I leave on maneuvers in 4 hours, and you'll be in Munich before I get back. We love each other. I want you to marry me.
Eric.
I'll be out of the service in 2 months, and I want you to come to America with me as my wife. Garda, do you love me?
You know I love you. It isn't that. It's just that...
Then I'm coming to Munich to take you home with me.
Eric.
What are you doing here?
Eric!
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Everard. Garda, I just... Excuse me, sir.
Papa, this is Sergeant Eric.
Get out of here.
Let me explain.
Did you hear what I said?
Garda, tell him.
Oh, just leave, Eric.
We're going to be married as soon as I'm out of the service.
But I love him, Papa. I do.
An 18-year-old child, what do you know about love? You're not to see that soldier again, understand me? Answer me!
Yes, Papa.
I'm ashamed of you.
Places I've traveled and the beautiful things I've seen, I feel this is the first time I've really seen anything. I suppose it could have anything to do with sharing it with the right person.
How'd you like to go on sharing it?
That sounds very much like a proposal. Are you sure?
I'm sure I love you.
I love you. I thought you'd never ask me.
I was afraid you'd say no.
Oh, darling. Darling, let's get married right away.
Let's get married in New York.
New York?
Yes, I'd love to show you New York.
Oh, I've seen New York.
When?
Oh, I was in Madison Square Garden for 6 weeks.
Oh, well, Madison Square Garden is New York.
Besides, we open in Munich next week.
Munich?
Well, sure, the big show.
Darling, if you weren't a trapeze performer, what would you like to do?
Be a trapeze performer.
That's so dangerous, getting up on that crazy swing and risking your neck day after day. I don't like it. There are so many other things to do, wonderful places to go and see.
What'd you have in mind?
Well, we could get a boat. Get a marvelous boat. A big one, big enough to go any place in the world we wanted to go. And we could take it and go island hopping throughout the Caribbean. We could take a long cruise in the Mediterranean. And if you didn't feel like traveling for a while, you could come back to New York and work. You see, darling, I'm a business manager, and I pay him $30,000 a year just to handle my personal affairs. Now, doesn't it make a lot more sense for my very own husband
To attend to those tiresome little details. Huh?
That's right. Really, it is sensible. People think business is such a bore, that it's dull, but it isn't. And in New York, they have some of the most marvelous big office buildings. We'll get one of the chic addresses there on Park Avenue. Get a big suite of offices, and darling, Joseph? Joseph? Joseph, what are you doing?
Being sensible. A little while ago, you were talking about sharing. What about sharing in my work?
Darling, are you talking about the circus?
Yes, I'm talking about the circus. What is that, a dirty word? Isn't it chic enough? I'm sorry. It's the only work I know, and I'm proud of it. I've never been kept by a woman in my life, and I never will. You want to buy yourself a man? Go buy a man. For $30,000 a year, you'll get a great selection.
Joseph.
Zane's dead. I'm in a great mood for a funeral. Outstanding protection for Teresa anymore?
No, he's through with that. He says the bears make him nervous. You better get your costume on.
Teresa?
Oh, have you seen Klaus?
Yeah, I saw him a little while ago. He was, interviewing a...
Female talent, as usual. Joseph, what's happened to him? We were so happy for a little while.
It's from Eric.
Huh?
He'll be here next week. Joseph, what'll I do? Papa's forbidden me to ever see him again. He wants to marry me and take me to America with him.
America? I had an offer like that once.
What can I do? You know how Papa feels about us having anything to do with anybody but circus people.
You know, Garda, even circus people have their troubles.
Joseph, would Papa let me quit the circus?
You love Eric?
I do.
All right.
I do love him.
Have the courage to do what you feel in your heart. You may never get another chance, you know. Any decision you make, you'll have to live with, not Papa. Hey. And don't worry.
Now, you stand up straight, like that, tall.
Come into Papa Bruno's office, Klaus.
Teresa, I have a wonderful idea. And you can talk Papa into using it. As a matter of fact, you can demand that he uses it. After all, you are part owner. Now, I was thinking about adding a ballet to the circus. You know, having something different than the clown walk around between acts. I mean, after all, the Cirque de Verre in Paris uses dancing girls.
Why do you leave me alone every night? What kind of a marriage do we have when the only time I see you is here at the circus? Where do you go? What you do?
Well, just what are you insinuating?
Oh, Klaus. What's happened to you? What's happened to us?
Well, just because I don't want to be a stooge standing around with a rifle outside a cage of bears?
Being my guard was your idea to begin with. I didn't ask it of you. You said you wanted to be there to protect me.
Yes, I said a lot of things.
You said you loved me. And you took a vow to love, honor, and cherish.
Why don't you stop this nonsense?
Nonsense.
Why do you think I married you? Why do you think I forced myself to make love to you? Every time you kissed me, I wanted to vomit. I only married you so that your father would sign the merger with Papa. It was the only way I could prove to Papa that I was as important as his precious Joseph. Now, I don't give a damn about you, and I never did.
Someplace in the building. Look, search every room but find her. Who let the bears in the cage? Oh, there you are, daughter. You're late. The bears are already in the cage. Is that all right?
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. The courageous, indomitable, Teresa Vicini.
Look out, Miss Everhart.
I'd like to believe Pietro knows his daughter is buried beside him. I should shoot Puro. Yet she always knew he was a dangerous bear, but she liked him better than any of the others. She said, he made the act.
What are we going to do about the polar bears? Should we hire another trainer, or what?
Doesn't it occur to you that this is the wrong time to speak of such business? Your wife's body's not even cold in the grave yet.
Well, perhaps, Papa. But if I've learned anything at all from you, it's that life goes on. And that we're not going out of business because of this tragedy.
Go on.
Now, regardless of Teresa's death, and I certainly mourn her more than anyone else ever could, I feel that I must keep faith with her and protect those interests that she left to me.
What interest?
What? The Vizzini Menagerie. Her father left it to her, and as her husband, I'm entitled. Papa, I have the right to expect that I will be a full partner in this enterprise, both financially and in the overall management.
You have no interest. 3 days before she died, Teresa, of her own suggestion, signed these documents, making me trustee of all of her property.
But I was her husband.
Apparently she knew you even better than I.
I have some rights. There must be some law that protects a dead wife's husband. I'm not going back to being a bookkeeper again.
You can stay on in the most menial jobs I can find for you, or you can get out. But as long as I live, you'll never have any authority in this or any other circus.
Hey, Joseph, look at this. Isn't this the rich American doll you had that fling with in Hamburg? Says she's going to marry some rich diamond merchant from Amsterdam. Takes money to make money, eh? Hey, don't you get it?
Joseph, Papa wants you in his office right away, both of us.
Always Joseph and Garda. Never you or me, eh, Hans?
Huh? Never you or me what?
All right, sit down, sit down. Tell them everything.
The former high-wire artist, Miss Carlotta Martinez, she's convinced the authorities in Hamburg that negligence was involved in the accident to her and the people who were killed. Your father has been charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Papa!
I'm not worried about that. Tell them about her lawsuit against me.
I managed to learn she also intends filing a damage suit for much more than the insurance will cover.
I see, she not only wants to put me in jail, but she wants to take the circus away from me.
Is that possible? If she wins. And there's a very good chance she could win enough to become a controlling owner. That action, that lawsuit, will be filed in Hamburg day after tomorrow.
Let's not panic. There's nothing to worry about. Carlotta will get nothing because I have divided my property into 4 equal shares. 25% to you, to Garda, to Hans, to Frederick. Now, where are the papers? Let them sign now.
Papa, what about Klaus?
He gets nothing. Not a thing. Not now or ever. Of course, after this is settled, you sign it all right back to me.
So what about manslaughter?
Conviction could mean as much as 4 to 5 years in prison.
Oh, they can't convict me. Garda, go get Hans and Frederick to sign.
What are his chances exactly?
Well, who can be exact about anything? A once quite beautiful woman is now crippled and scarred. It's not unusual for emotion rather than law and justice to settle such cases.
It sounds pretty risky. What can we do about it?
Well, Carlotta Martinez has charged that Bruno has insisted upon doing all the rigging himself, that he has refused to employ a professional rigger. Now, if you and your brothers could testify that all of you, both individually and collectively, had taken care of the rigging, then responsibility could not be fixed on any one individual.
So there'd be no manslaughter conviction?
In my opinion, no. Definitely not.
That's all I wanted to know. When does Papa go to Hamburg?
Tomorrow. Trial will be the day after.
Don't you understand? If we don't have him, they'll give him 5 years in prison. That'll kill him.
No? So?
You hate him that much?
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, pride for pride. I hate him even more than that, if that's possible.
You made your point, brother.
And
hounds can't help you either. Can you imagine that idiot in the witness box? He can't even talk, and you're wasting your time with Frederick. He feels the same way I do about Papa.
Enjoy your lunch.
Most enjoyable I've had in a long time, brother.
What are you doing here?
I read about the trial in the newspapers.
I read about you, too. I read you discovered a diamond mine.
I couldn't marry him.
No, why not? You could live on Beekman Place, have an office in the Empire State Building, spend the summers in the Virgin Islands.
He couldn't do a triple. Joseph, I was wrong. I was so wrong. Oh, I was wrong, Joseph. Forgive me. I don't care where you live or where you work. I just have to be with you. I have to be with you. I love you, Joseph.
I'll talk to you after the trial.
Mr. Everett, may I remind you you're under oath?
Yes, sir.
Well, perhaps you'd better tell us of your activity on the day of the accident.
Yes, sir. After the matinee performance, my father asked me to buy 6 new rigging turnbuckles. I was to replace the old ones before the evening's performance. I often helped my father with the rigging, so this was not an unusual request.
That's not true. Bruno Everard would never permit anyone to touch the rigging but himself, ever. He's a liar.
You will be quiet, Miss Martinez, or I must ask you to leave this court.
Proceed. Yes, sir. I became involved in something and,
Like what, Mr. Everett?
I don't remember. But the point is, I forgot to buy the turnbuckles, and I failed to tell my father about it. So that if the accident was due to a negligence, it was mine and not my father's.
You may step down. Will Mr. Bruno Everard take a stand, please?
Mr. Everett, you have heard your son's testimony? Did he speak the truth?
He did not. He lied.
Bailiff, remove Miss Martinez from this courtroom.
But he lied, I tell you. He lied. It isn't true. Why don't you believe me? He's a liar. He's a liar. Please believe me.
You may continue.
Will you please answer the question? Did your son speak the truth?
Yes. Joseph Everard, your admission of negligence, an admission substantiated by your father, leaves me no choice but to find you guilty. It would be a travesty of justice for this court to even consider leniency in view of the tragedy your gross and inexcusable negligence has caused. This court sentences you to 5 years of imprisonment.
No.
The prisoner may have 5 minutes with his family.
It's all right, Papa. It's not forever, you know. Besides, circus can get along without me. It couldn't get along without you. Whatever you need, whatever you want, I'll let you know, Papa.
I've made a decision, and I'm going to stick with it. Just like you said. Goodbye, Joseph. Goodbye, Papa.
Joseph, why?
I had no choice.
But you did. Your father's already lived his life. We haven't even begun to live ours yet.
Prison would have killed him.
What's it gonna do to you? What's it gonna do to us, Joseph? Why?
I honor my father. I won't ask you to wait. 5 years is a long time.
It is a long time. But you know I'm going to wait. I love you, Joseph.
You need to rest. I want you to come to my home for a few weeks. You can watch the ocean liners come into the Elbe. You can walk in the park and let peace and quiet come into your heart. Will you do me this favor, your old friend?
What have you done in my office?
Sit down.
Get out, all of you, get out.
Stay where you are. I ask you to sit down, Papa.
And I told you to get out, so get out.
You don't own this circus anymore or the menagerie, Papa. We do. The Everard brothers.
You own nothing.
I would like to tell you the facts of life, Papa. Between the three of us, Hans, Frederick, and myself, we controlled 75% of this business. Now, Joseph has 25%, but he's in prison, so he doesn't count. You see, Garda gave me her share when she married the American. What was his name?
Eric Solden.
Eric Solden, yeah.
Garda is married?
Married and gone to America. Now, I'd like to state the following very clearly to you, Papa. We have no wish to have you need for anything, Papa. So we have decided to give you a liberal allowance. Quite a good deal more, I might add, than your needs require. But it is our desire not to have you around here in any capacity in our circus. Now, bluntly, that means we won't allow you inside this building.
So, Garda is married and gone. Joseph in prison, and my 3 sons steal my circus. You think that you can take away all that I've worked for all of my life with some phony papers? You cannot sign those papers to save the circus. Those papers are worthless. You have nothing. You have nothing. You're getting nothing out of it. Get me out. See who gets out. Leave your father alone. And even if the Lord does permit you to rob me, I'll tell you this, Klaus. I earned my first penny climbing a rope in village squares on festival days. Your mother and I put bread in your mouths by doing a hard jaw act in a 2-wagon carnival. I have worked every street corner in Europe for 15 years. I started that way once, and I can start that way again, but I don't think I'll have to do it. You'll find out who your father is. Give me my hat. You'll find out who Bruno Everard is. Joseph, I found this young flyer. A little green, but he'll do. Maybe he's eager, comes out of the spin off balance, but...
Papa, it doesn't make sense.
You think I'm too old? I'm not. I've been working out. I'm solid as a rock. I catch that kid like he weighed 4 pounds. Now, this is what I'm going to do, Joseph. Just like in the old days, I'm going to print up some handbills, free performance. You understand? Nobody pays. During the performance, we take up a collection, pass the hat around. And I found some rigging. A little old, but it'll do. And I found a life net. And you know where we're going to perform, Joseph?
No, I don't know, Papa.
In the old exhibition hall at the English Gardens. I got it cheap, and it's ideal, right in the heart of Schwabing.
It's winter, Papa. Nobody'll come.
Bruno Everard is still the biggest circus name in Europe. They'll come. Everybody will be there. It'll be jam-packed. We'll have to turn them away.
I gotta go, Papa. I wish you'd forget it.
I promise you, Joseph, by the time you come out, I'll have Klaus out of business. We'll have that circus right back in our hands, Joseph. I promise you.
Is that enough of a crowd?
Oh, it's just fine, Walter, fine. Okay, Gert. Just as soon as we start working up there, you begin to pass the hat around and keep it going until we're finished, okay?
Oh, okay.
Was that all? Mr. Everard just said there would be a big crowd.
Well, for this kind of weather, this is a big crowd. Come on. Thank you for coming, my friends. I hope that you will be greatly entertained.
Papa! Papa! Papa, please don't do it.
Who are you? I don't know you. Step aside. I've worked with
Papa, if you need more money, take it, please. But don't do it. Thank you. He's dead. Papa is dead.
Brother, I offer you a choice. Leave Munich permanently tonight, or I'll have to kill you. Now, please understand, Brother Joseph, it makes no difference to me one way or the other, so long as you're out of my way.
That little Bruno, he wasn't about to be left home tonight. How are you? How are you, Plimpton?
Ladies and gentlemen, the stars of the big show, the owners of the big show, the sons of the greatest man in circus history.